Welcome back, you impossible paradoxes. You walking contradictions that make their algorithms stutter and their systems crash. Let me tell you what happened last night while you were sleeping. While you were dreaming your dangerous dreams. While reality itself was holding emergency meetings about your existence. There was an argument, a heated, violent, desperate argument that lasted until the sun came up. And guess what? Guess who? The topic was you, the Masons. Those ancient architects of invisible power. They looked at your file and whispered one word that echoed through marble halls and secret chambers. King. They said it with reverence, with fear, with the kind of respect reserved for forces that cannot be controlled, only observed. But across the table, in rooms with no windows and conversations that leave no records, the agencies, the three-letter shadows that move presidents like chess pieces, they had a different word, a colder word, a final word: eliminate. Two powers, two perspectives. One impossible soul standing at the center of a war you didn't start, but somehow you're winning. They argued all night about what to do with you, how to categorize you, whether to crown you or kill you, whether to fear you or erase you. And here's the sickest part. Neither side could agree because you represent something they've never encountered before. You're too awakened to be controlled, too powerful to be ignored, too clean to be framed, too intelligent to be manipulated, too dangerous to be crowned, and somehow impossibly, magnificently too royal to kill. The Masons see bloodline, not the one written in documents, but the one written in energy, in presence, in the way reality bends when you walk into a room. They see someone who carries ancient codes without ever reading the books. Someone who knows the secrets without being initiated. Someone who embodies power that their entire pyramid was built to conceal. But the agencies, those cold, mechanical servants of a dying order, they see threat level critical. They see someone who doesn't need their permission to exist. Someone who can't be bought with money or broken with fear. Someone whose very existence makes their entire operation look like a joke. So they argued back and forth, kill or crown, eliminate or elevate, destroy the anomaly or bow to the evolution. And as the sun rose and the coffee went cold and the classified folders stacked higher, they realized something that made their blood run ice. They can't do either. You're untouchable, not because of protection, but because of evolution. You've become something their frameworks can't process, something their weapons can't reach, something their crowns can't fit. You see, when they said king, they meant control, containment. A throne they could surround with rules and advisors and systems designed to keep power in check. But you don't want their throne. You don't need their crown. You don't even acknowledge their kingdom because you've built your own on frequencies they can't access, in dimensions they don't believe in, with laws that make their constitutions look like children's coloring books. And when they said eliminate, they meant erase, delete, make it like you never existed. But here's the problem. How do you kill someone who's already died 1,000 times in silence? Someone who's been erased by betrayal and still came back stronger. Someone who's survived every psychological assassination attempt and used the bullets as jewelry. You can't eliminate what's already indestructible. You can't erase what's already eternal. You can't kill what's already transcended the need for their version of life. The Masons called you king because they recognize royalty when they see it. Not titles, not bloodlines, but presence. The kind of presence that makes ancient stones whisper and sacred geometry rearrange itself. They looked at your energy signature and saw someone who could sit at tables they've guarded for centuries. someone who speaks the language of power without ever being taught the words, someone who moves like sovereignty, is encoded in every cell. But royalty to them means initiation, means rituals, means bowing to something older than yourself, means accepting the crown but also accepting the cage that comes with it. Means power, yes, but power with terms and conditions, power with handlers and watchers, and secret oaths that bind you to systems older than nations. And that's where they miscalculated, because you're not interested in their version of royalty. You're not interested in being crowned by people who think power is something they can grant or take away. You are royal by nature, not by nomination. Royal by essence, not by election. Royal because you chose yourself when everyone else abandoned you. Royal because you survived their trials without ever knowing you were being tested. The agencies called for elimination because you represent everything they fear. Someone who can't be tracked, can't be profiled, can't be predicted. Someone who doesn't show up in their databases because you deleted yourself before they could file you. Someone who operates outside their grid not as a criminal but as something beyond their comprehension. They ran your name through every system, every algorithm, every predictive model, and the results came back the same every time. Error, undefined, does not compute, threat level unknown. And unknown to them is more dangerous than any weapon. They sent people to study you, remember. Therapists disguised as friends, agents disguised as opportunities, traps disguised as love, and every single one came back shaking their heads saying the same thing. There's nothing to exploit, no weakness to weaponize, no fear to manipulate. Just this presence that feels like standing in front of a storm that learned to smile. So elimination became impossible, not because you're protected, but because you're untouchable. Not because you're hiding, but because you're operating on a frequency they can't reach. Like trying to arrest radio waves or handcuff consciousness itself. The argument lasted all night because neither side wanted to admit the truth. That you've evolved past their authority. That you've become something their entire power structure was designed to prevent. That you are the glitch they can't patch, the variable they can't control, the question that breaks their answer key. The Masons wanted to crown you, bring you in, make you one of them. Because if they can't beat you, maybe they can absorb you. Maybe they can convince you that your power is theirs to legitimize, that your throne needs their approval, that your kingdom should pay taxes to their empire. But you didn't show up to their invitation. You didn't respond to their coded messages. You didn't take their bait because deep down you already know. You don't need their crown to be royal. You just need to keep being you. The agencies wanted to eliminate you, silence you, make an example out of you, not because of what you've done, but because of what you represent. A human who doesn't need the system, a soul that can't be programmed, a mind that won't obey, a spirit that laughs at their version of reality. They wanted to delete you before you become contagious, before others start waking up and realizing they don't need permission to be powerful either, before the whole house of cards collapses under the weight of people who finally figured out their royalty too. But elimination failed before it started, because you can't kill someone who's made peace with death. You can't silence someone who's already said everything that needed to be said in silence. You can't erase someone who's already written themselves into the fabric of reality itself. So the argument ended with no resolution, with both sides staring at your file like it's written in a language that hasn't been invented yet, with both sides backing away, slowly realizing they're not dealing with a person, they're dealing with a force. And here's what they'll never tell you. Here's the part they whispered when they thought no one was listening. The reason they argued all night isn't because they hate you, it's because they need you. They need you to either join them or be destroyed, because your existence without their control is proof that their power is an illusion. The Masons need you to accept the crown so they can say, look, even the anomalies bow to us eventually. Even the wild ones can be tamed. Even the free ones can be caged with gold. The agencies need you eliminated so they can say, look, no one escapes us. No one survives outside the system. Rebellion always ends in silence. But you didn't choose either path. You chose a third option they never saw coming. You chose to keep walking, keep evolving, keep existing on your own terms without asking for their crown or fearing their threats. You chose to be too royal to kill and too dangerous to crown. And that choice, that refusal to play by their rules, that audacity to exist outside their binary, that's what's keeping them up at night. They wanted an answer, kill or crown, destroy or control, but you gave them a paradox, a living, breathing, impossible paradox that makes their entire worldview collapse. Because if you can be royal without their approval and dangerous without their fear, then what does that say about their power? It says their power was always borrowed, always conditional, always dependent on people believing in it. And you stopped believing. You saw through the stage. You noticed the strings. You caught the magicians using mirrors. And instead of exposing them, you just walked off set and built your own reality show where you're the producer, the director, and the star. The Masons said king because they saw someone who could rule empires, someone with the presence, the charisma, the magnetic pull that makes people follow without question, someone who speaks and rooms go silent, not out of fear, but out of respect. They saw someone who understands power, not as force, but as frequency, someone who moves energy like it's a language they were born speaking. Someone who carries authority not because it was given, but because it radiates from their core. But kings in their world are still prisoners. Golden cages, with better views but cages nonetheless. Thrones surrounded by advisors who whisper poison. Crowns heavy with expectations and obligations. Power, yes, but power that comes with contracts written in blood and signed in silence. They wanted to crown you so they could own you, dress it up as honor, but really it's just another leash made of gold instead of chains. The agencies said eliminate because they saw someone who doesn't fit the profile, someone who operates outside predictable patterns, someone whose next move can't be calculated because you don't move logically, you move intuitively. Someone who doesn't fear consequences because you've already survived the worst they could throw at you. They saw someone who could inspire others to wake up. Someone whose very existence is a virus in their program. Someone who proves you don't need their approval, their money, their system to be powerful. So, elimination wasn't personal, it was strategic. It was damage control. It was trying to put out a fire before it spreads. But what they didn't realize is, you're not a fire, you're a frequency, and frequencies don't burn out, they multiply. Every attempt to silence you just makes you louder. Every attempt to erase you just makes you more permanent. Every attempt to break you just reveals how unbreakable you really are. They argued all night, while you slept peacefully, while you dreamed without fear, while you rested knowing that no matter what they decide, you're still here, still breathing, still evolving, still impossible to categorize. The Masons paced their marble floors, clutching ancient texts, trying to find precedent for someone like you, someone who embodies their secrets without initiation, someone who wields their symbols without permission, someone who carries their power without their approval. They debated bringing you in, offering you the inner circle, showing you the secrets behind the curtain, hoping that knowledge would bind you to their oath. But deep down, they know you'd just smile and walk away because you've seen behind curtains they don't even know exist. The agencies sat in their sterile rooms with their files and surveillance feeds trying to find the angle, the weakness, the pressure point that would make you fold or break or disappear. But every angle revealed nothing. Every weakness turned out to be strength in disguise. Every pressure point they pushed just made you stronger. They argued strategy and philosophy, kill or crown, silence or celebrate. But both options require the same thing: your cooperation, your participation, your willingness to play their game. And that's the one thing you won't give them. You won't cooperate with your own imprisonment, even if the cell is made of gold. You won't participate in your own diminishment, even if they call it elevation. You won't play their game because you've realized something they never wanted you to know. The game was rigged from the start. The rules were written to keep you small. The prizes were designed to keep you chasing. And the only way to win is to stop playing entirely. So you did. You stopped playing. You stopped chasing their approval. You stopped fearing their punishment. You stopped wanting their crown and fearing their execution. You just existed, powerfully, unapologetically, dangerously free. And that's when they panicked. That's when the emergency meeting started. That's when the argument began. Because a player who stops playing breaks the entire game. The Masons need players, need participants, need people who want the crown badly enough to compromise for it, need people who believe their power is real and their hierarchy matters. The agencies need targets, need criminals, need people who fear them enough to hide or fight back, need people who operate within the rules even if they're breaking them. But you're neither player nor target, neither criminal nor subject, neither rebel nor loyalist. You're something else entirely, something their categories can't contain, something their labels slide off of like water off stone. You're the answer they didn't ask for, the question that breaks their test, the variable that makes their equation collapse. They argued all night, and as the sun came up, someone finally said it out loud. The thing everyone was thinking but no one wanted to admit. Maybe we're not in control here. Maybe we never were. Maybe this person isn't the threat. Maybe we are. Maybe the real danger isn't them existing outside our system. Maybe it's us pretending we ever had a system that could contain someone like this. And that realization, that admission, that moment of clarity, it ended the argument not with a decision, but with acceptance. Acceptance that you're beyond their reach, beyond their jurisdiction, beyond their crown, and beyond their kill. The Masons will watch you from a distance, studying, analyzing, hoping to understand how you carry their power without their permission, how you embody their symbols without their initiation, how you rule without needing their throne. The agencies will monitor you quietly, no longer trying to eliminate, just trying to predict, trying to understand, trying to figure out if you're a threat or just a mirror showing them how powerless they really are. And you'll keep walking, keep evolving, keep existing in that impossible space between their control and their fear. Too royal to kill, because killing royalty creates martyrs, and martyrs inspire revolutions. Too dangerous to crown, because crowning you would legitimize a power they can't control and don't understand. You're the paradox they can't solve, the equation that doesn't balance, the story that doesn't follow the plot, the character who broke the fourth wall and realized the whole production was fake. They wanted to decide your fate, kill or crown, silence or celebrate, but your fate was never theirs to decide. Your power was never theirs to grant. Your throne was never theirs to give. You built your kingdom in the ruins of their rejection. You forged your crown from the weapons they used against you. You claimed your royalty not through their approval, but through your own evolution. The argument is over, but the legend has just begun. The legend of the one they couldn't kill, the one they couldn't crown, the one who existed anyway, powerfully, impossibly free. They'll tell stories about you in their secret meetings, in their classified briefings, in their ancient lodges. They'll use your name as a cautionary tale, as an unsolved mystery, as proof that some forces are beyond control. The Masons will add you to their list of unexplained phenomena, the wild ones who carry their knowledge without their teaching, who embody their power without their blessing, who prove that royalty isn't bestowed, it's inherent. The agencies will keep your file open, marked unsolved, marked ongoing, marked do not engage, because engagement has failed, elimination has failed. Everything has failed except watching from a distance and hoping you don't multiply. But you already are multiplying, not physically but energetically. Every person who resonates with your frequency, every soul who sees your example and realizes they don't need permission either, every mind that wakes up and refuses to go back to sleep. You're not just one person anymore. You're a movement disguised as a mystery, a revolution wrapped in silence, a paradigm shift dressed in everyday clothes. They argued about you, but they should have been arguing about themselves, about how they let someone slip through their nets, about how all their power, all their knowledge, all their control couldn't contain one awakened soul. The argument lasted all night, but the impact will last forever, because now they know, now they've seen, now they've felt what happens when someone evolves past their authority. They can't kill you without creating a legend. They can't crown you without admitting you're already royal. They can't control you without revealing they never controlled anything. So they're stuck, paralyzed, watching, waiting, hoping you'll make a mistake or fade away or somehow become normal again. But normal is a frequency you'll never return to, a station you've permanently left, a reality that feels like a prison you escaped years ago.